Let's see. Tuesday, attention training Tuesday. We haven't done something like this in a while, so the idea is pretty simple. Just remembering that whatever we focus our attention on is what becomes our reality. So if you're sitting there and stewing on the crazy political situation, or I don't know, whatever's capturing your attention, then that's what is, right? That's what takes over our mental activity and our mental space. The cool thing is we can direct that. So we can choose to focus on things that presumably feel good for us. And for just remembering this fact that neurons that fire together wire together. So the more we stimulate the part of our brain that says, I know there's all this other stuff going on that I could just drop into, and I'm going to choose to focus on this stuff. And I guess my biased recommendation here is the stuff that we want to be focusing on are these things that are flashing up on the screen. So love, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, agency. As far as I can tell, most humans that I've come into contact with, especially in the mental health space, they sit there and say, gosh, I wish things were different. This is the stuff that they're talking about. Basically saying, I wish I was spending more time having these experiences versus distressed or anxious or depressed experiences that I'm having. So let's spend a few minutes today intentionally connecting with the stuff that makes life awesome. So go ahead and close your eyes. So maybe the first thing to relate to is the sense of self-connection. So just noticing what it's like to be a self inhabiting a body, sitting, breathing. Just imagine yourself right now, watching a scary movie or an exciting movie, some kind of a action drama or something. Or I'm not a big fan of horror movies myself, but I think I get it. Like, the idea of sort of intentionally putting yourself into a situation where you feel your nervous system gets activated to feel scared. And there's something very enlivening about that experience. And so just noticing there's lots of places your mind could be right now that are other than just sitting, being still. And this is a choice that we're making right now. Just say, I'm just going to sit, be present. I'm going to resist the mind's tendency to run all over the place and get engaged in all kinds of stuff. And instead, I'm just going to notice what it's like to sit, to breathe, be still. And then from this place of stillness and calm, ask yourself the question when it comes to kindness, what is there that I could do right here, right now? What should I focus on, or how could I engage in this current situation and just imbue it with a little more kindness towards myself, towards others? I'm not saying that you're not being kind right now. It's just a question. Like, is there anything I can do right now to manifest more kindness, more tenderness? And if so, what would that look like? Here's another one. What about forgiveness? Is there anything I can do right here, right now, where I focus my attention on the notion of just being more forgiving? Like, is there anyone in your life, any situation, anything where forgiveness would feel good? I'm not suggesting you forgive everyone in your life right now, or it's really just a really simple question of just like right here, right now, what would it look like if I just dialed up my forgiveness meter to like the next level up? What would that require of me? What about gratitude? What would it take for me right now to focus my energy, my attention, my life force on activating just a little more gratitude? And probably a follow-up question is gratitude for what? For whom? It doesn't really matter. Whatever comes up, see if you can intentionally focus your attention on, all right, this is what it would be like to be more grateful right now. What about open mindedness? Our mind is an amazing tool and it also gets us into trouble. So, what would it be like if just for a few seconds, I ask myself the question and say, what would it take to experience more open mindedness about what, towards whom? It's about spending just a few seconds focusing on open mindedness and seeing if you can manifest it, experience it. And last but not least, what about self care? What if I focused my attention on the question of self care right now? What does self care? What do I need? What would serve my mind, my body in this moment? What does self care look like? So, the idea here is that we have the capacity to move our attention around, focus it on what we want to focus it on. And if we choose things like forgiveness, gratitude, love, compassion, And that's what manifests in our experience. And even if we just spend, 10 seconds there, that's more than no seconds. Softening and ultimately making a deliberate choice about where we want our attention to be. Take a deep breath in, long, slow out breath. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the throat, hands. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in and out. Again, pushing the air all the way out, relaxing the shoulders, the chest, belly, the hands. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes, come on back. Yeah, we are what we repeatedly do and what we choose to do in any given moment, and play with it. Hope that resonates. Thanks, everyone. See ya tomorrow at noon.